Support for this podcast comes from the Central Valley Journalism Collaborative, connecting communities with the resources, infrastructure, and networks to ensure a vibrant local free press.
From KVPR in Fresno, this is Central Valley Daily. It's Thursday, August 14th. I'm Elizabeth Arkalian. Many of us have a natural talent for cooking up delicious meals.
At first, it was just for the family. And then somebody said, man, you should sell this. It's really good. And I was like, it's not that good, is it?
They can be so good, you can make a business of it. We will talk to Fresno residents who turned their backyards into restaurants. But first, these news headlines. Thousands of people are signing a petition calling for an investigation into Kern County Child Protective Services. Residents are criticizing the agency following the death of an 8-year-old girl earlier this month. Genesis Mata was found dead inside a motel bathtub with visible injuries. Her father and stepmother are charged with murder and child abuse. The family of the young girl says they had called CPS multiple times in the months leading up to her death. So far, nearly 4,000 people have signed the petition calling for an independent body to look into the agency's operations. The Mariposa County District Attorney has abruptly resigned. Michael McAfee left his position on Monday, according to news reports, but gave no public reason for his resignation. The county's former district attorney, Walter Wall, was appointed to the position in the meantime. A new audit says California could save hundreds of millions of dollars by letting state employees work remotely. KVPR's Crescencio Rodriguez Delgado reports the governor's office disagrees with the analysis.
The audit by the California State Auditor's Office says the state could save as much as $225 million per year if it sticks with remote work. A spokesperson for the Newsom administration is pushing back on the findings, however, and told our news partner Cal Matters that this analysis is not scientific. The audit was conducted after the governor ordered workers back to the office 2 days a week. Then, earlier this year, Newsom signed an order raising that number to 4 days a week. But the auditor's office says the governor's demands were not rational and not backed by worker productivity data. The audit also found the state could reduce its office space by nearly a third if it lets workers go back to 2 days at the office. Crescencio Rodriguez Delgado, KVPR News.
3 of California's 10 known wolf packs have had pups so far in 2025, but wolf advocates say this isn't enough. From our California newsroom partners at KALW, Evan Roberts has more.
According to the California Department of Fish and Wildlife, California wolf packs welcomed a total of at least 22 pups this year. Amaruk Weiss, a senior wolf advocate at the Center for Biological Diversity, says this number is concerning.
We're in the midst of a global extinction crisis right now. We need all the pieces back. And as apex predators, wolves play a really important role in keeping wild nature healthy.
Wolves vanished from California nearly a century ago, but returned in 2011 when a radio-collared wolf born in Oregon crossed into California. His offspring helped establish new packs here, with the first pack confirmed in 2015. Today, the 10 packs total to about 50 to 70 wolves.
What we're hoping is that California Department of Fish and Wildlife will, in the weeks to come, discover that more of the packs have had pups.
Until then, she said, she's waiting for good news, with paws crossed. In San Francisco, I'm Evan Roberts.
Fresno Pacific University officials announced their largest donation ever on Wednesday. $21.9 million will go to the university to support student scholarships. The donation comes from King J. Richter, who's a longtime supporter of the university. The scholarship funds will be named after Richter, his mother, and father. University officials say this gift marks one of the largest charitable donations made to any institution in the Valley's history. The city of Porterville plans to recognize one of its former mayors at its meeting next Tuesday. Monty Reyes died earlier this summer at the age of 53. He served on the Porterville City Council from 2014 to 2022. Reyes is credited with getting the city through the COVID-19 crisis and for tackling issues around transportation and drinking water.
Support for Central Valley Daily comes from Fresno Mazda, part of the Prieto Automotive family, leading the industry in the IIHS 2025 Top Safety Pick Awards, helping move Mazda closer to the goal of eliminating traffic fatalities. More information and the Mazda digital showroom available at myfresnomazda.com.
And now to our main story. Today's economy has been tough on many of us. Maybe you've cut back on shopping or your favorite meals. Well, some residents in Fresno are finding extra income by turning their living spaces into businesses of the yummy kind. KVPR's Samantha Rangel set out to meet the people serving up delicious meals out of the comfort of their homes.
Teresa Cruz is wearing her favorite apron with watermelons on it as she stands over a large metal flat-top stove. It's traditionally called a comal, and it's where she's cooking what's known as a picadita and a tlayuda. These round patties made of masa are covered with beans, cheese, beef, cabbage, and fresh salsa. They're the best sellers at her restaurant, known as Sabor Oaxaqueña. She operates all of this out of her backyard in central Fresno, surrounded by colorful flowers and potted plants in several shades of green.
Antes de un TikTok que hicieron, era lo suficientemente ocupado en día domingo. Pero ahorita ya está mucho más ocupado y vamos a estar preparando más.
She says her home restaurant was already busy, but then someone posted a TikTok video about it, and now she's working extra. Cruz says she started selling food to help her daughter raise money for the high school track team. She used to work at restaurants and a dry cleaner, but now this has become her full-time job. Her home restaurant is more than just a business. The food she serves honors her heritage. She's originally from a small town near the Mexican city of Oaxaca. That's also where many of the ingredients come from.
La receta secreta es en el amor y la dedicación que le pones, porque todo lo que tú hagas lo tienes que hacer como para ti misma y que pues más que nada que sea con amor.
But really, she says her secret ingredients are love and passion. Customers notice. People drive hours just to eat here. And she says this newfound business has given her financial freedom.
Gracias a la venta de la comida, ella pudo realizar su study abroad para Países Bajos. En Europa fue hace 2 años.
She says the profits even allowed her to send her daughter to study abroad in the Netherlands. This booming business has also made her think of one day owning a food truck. But she first wants to be able to formalize her home business, which is hard. The county only offers permits to sell baked goods and candy.
Fuera una fuente de ingresos familiar, si nos dan la oportunidad de hacerlo ya formalmente, o que nos dieran las licencias de poder preparar comida en las casas y venderla, fuera excelente.
Cruz says that her goal is to get all the necessary permits, and she says she stays up to date with the food handling rules. She's not the only one cooking from home.
That is the Supremo.
Across town, David Rossetti is making pizzas, even though
My background in cooking is absolutely nothing.
he runs Lardo's Pizza, also out of his backyard.
I didn't really like the food here or there. So instead of just complaining about it, I figured I might as well just try to experiment and learn how to make my own pizza.
The business started in the early days of the COVID-19 pandemic.
At first, it was just for the family. And then somebody said, man, you should sell this. It's really good. And I was like, it's not that good, is it? And then I had a friend come over. They tried it. And I'm like, man, you should sell this.
Each pizza takes 72 hours to make. That's because the dough goes through 3 days of fermentation. Many of their ingredients are locally sourced, like their garlic. Rossetti still works a full-time job, but he's especially passionate about his home business. He even catered a wedding recently.
We know times are tough for everybody, and so if people are willing to buy our product, we want to make sure we're giving them the best product they can possibly have.
Like Cruz, he also wants to expand. He would like to open a patio pizza shop in town and bring along his musician brother.
I envision the string lights, I envision tables. While I'm cooking and people are eating, he was serenading them with his guitar.
The business brings in extra cash. It also gives new and returning customers a chance to try something new. And Rossetti says it's small business owners like him that keep the economy moving. With KVPR News, I'm Samantha Rangel.
And Samantha joins me now to discuss her reporting a little further. Hey, Sam.
Hey, Liz.
Good to see you. Okay, so first I'm curious to learn more about how these businesses are balancing their passion for their food with the challenges of running everything from their homes.
Teresa did work a full-time job, and luckily now she only has to focus on the restaurant, but she did say it was extremely stressful at times, and though she thinks about opening maybe another day because she works 3 days a week, she is content with her 3-day schedule right now because of how busy it's been. And I know David as well still works a job outside of his home business, but he does meet with his family, which is his little team, his wife and his son, to discuss their availability in order to prioritize like family time before the business. And they both kind of show how informal these types of home businesses can be, especially since I feel that it kind of converges with their daily life. So they kind of get to make their own schedules, which is super cool.
Yeah, no clocking in and out necessarily. What do you think the popularity of these kinds of businesses says about Fresno's sort of informal economy or the food vendor community?
Well, I think it shows that people are willing to start their own businesses if they have the right tools. And from reporting on the story, I also got the idea that people also just want to monetize their skills. And they find that if they're able to find customers and a customer base for it, then they'll go for it, which is kind of visible through, of course, like these 2 restaurants and many others I have seen. But also the county and the city of Fresno have taken notice of this booming in the food vending industry. So in recent years and months even, officials at both levels of government, so members of like the city council, board of supervisors, have tried to formalize these food vendors by educating them about permits, how to operate their businesses and get licenses. And that's applied to mostly those who go in the streets to sell food, but it shows that the city and county are still interested in supporting these businesses.
I'm curious what these backyards look like.
Completely different environments. So Teresa had this big, really shady backyard. There's this entrance. The back gate is like lined with all sorts of succulents and green plants, cacti, and flowers, and some little signs. They're super cute. And right in the middle of the backyard is like this really big tree, and it's providing all kinds of shade, and she has all kinds of little bricks around it, and she said it reminds her of her own little pueblo, her little city back in Oaxaca, which is super cute. David, on the other hand, has lots of outdoor couches. It's more modern, I feel. 3 pizza ovens in a line on the wall of like their living room window, and some really cute lights just on the back fence. But yeah, each place has its own character, kind of just like the type of food that they have.
Yeah. So if more people try to go this route of starting their own food business from home, I'm assuming there is information out there that sort of tells them what they need to know in order to follow food safety rules, right?
Yes. In California, there's this cottage food operation permit, which does allow food to be sold from a home, but it only does allow certain foods, so there's an approved list. What I was able to find is that foods like candy, fruit tamales, dried fruit, and these like powdered drink mixes are generally allowed. The business owners I spoke with says they're mindful of these kinds of rules because they're looking to grow their business and make it more official so that they can continue on for more time to come.
KVPR reporter Samantha Rangel, thanks for joining me.
Thank you, Liz.
And that's today's show. Do you have a story idea for Central Valley Daily? Reach out to us. Just email podcast@kvpr.org. Today's episode was produced by Samantha Rangel, Jonathan Linden, and KVPR, with support from the Central Valley Journalism Collaborative. I'm Elizabeth Arkalian. You can find the latest local news anytime at kvpr.org.
These days, there's so much news, it can be hard to keep up with what it all means for you, your family, and your community. The Consider This podcast from NPR features our award-winning journalism. 6 days a week, we bring you a deep dive on a news story and provide the context and analysis that helps you make sense of the news. We get behind the headlines. We get to the truth. Listen to the Consider This podcast from NPR.